Welcome back, gents. It is a very windy day out. We're talking 12 to 15 miles an hour. I'm really sorry if the mic's picking that up. I'm trying my best. But what are we retesting? We're retesting BLC-2 with my Ballistic Advantage barrel. It is installed into my Aero Precision Enhanced Upper, and we're also using a different bolt carrier group, nickel boron. So I'm expecting some differences, but I'm going to attribute the main differences to the upper, if there is any. We're hoping for about 1.5 inch groups, but not only are we doing a powder graduation test, we're also doing a seating depth test. So let's see how this goes. Quick look at my notes here where we're retesting BLC-2. Quick reminder, these are spicy. These are 5.56 territory. Your barrel, even if it is chambered for 5.56, might not be able to handle these, depending on your cases, primers, etc., etc. We also have some additional seating depth tests that we'll be going over, but first let me center my camera on the load workup. It's going to look a little bit wonky, but initial impressions, this looks really similar to our other upper. That actually makes me really happy, especially since I get to share this information with you guys. The biggest thing I'm noticing a difference in is with the upper charge 26.8, we kind of have our OK core group and then the grotesque flyer. And I think previously before, the flyer went out to the left. But honestly, with the nature of dispersion and flyers and outliers, however you want to word it, I'm not surprised that one decided to just go high anyway. Otherwise, yeah, I'm going to have to put up an adjacent image in editing, but for you guys to really see, yeah, this is remarkably similar considering I changed the barrel, to a different platform, different bolt carrier group and everything. This is actually remarkably similar. And again, 26.4 ends up being our most accurate and most precise group. In fact, when I did my seating depth test, boom, there it is again. This is actually a slightly smaller group, but still remarkably similar. So let's compare these groups in voiceover mode. There's going to be some key elements that we have to pay attention here. So going from left to right, up to down, that first group we see it's pretty bad and there's a lot of verticality going on there. The second group, we're spitting shots off to the left and right. The third group, 26.4, is our best group. Then things fall apart. And then our final charge, group C here, has a decent core group with, again, an outlier. Take a look at the second set of groups. First one, verticality. Things are going bad. Second group, shots seem to be shooting off to the left and right. Third group is the best, that is 26.4. D is starting to fall apart. And then finally, the last group, we have kind of a tight core group, but then we have an outlier. A lot of similarities here. That said, these two, 5,000 shorter, 10,000 shorter. This is a little bit left. This one seems to have went down, but we have some weird outliers going on here. And this is harmonically induced, so this one I might be able to claim and say I did this, but otherwise, no, I think this is just a really bad place to be. This, as we go longer, look at that, shift to the left, and we have another gross outlier there. And then finally, ignore that and ignore these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Things are getting a little bit better. It's a huge shift to the lower right from this one, but just kind of a little bit below our core group, I guess I'll go ahead and say. So I think I can kind of see the sine wave where we're going out of what was a good seating depth maybe, into something terrible, back into our core group or something that was acceptable, to something, this is definitely bad. And then maybe we're tightening into something else here. So if you can graph it into a sine wave, I can kind of see the sense of what the barrel's speaking to us with. But like this and that, those are our worst groups of the day, and they're all just shy of 2 inches. That's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. And most of these groups are about 1.5 inches, a little bit less than. So, I'd say this, so far with this powder at least, this is a good plinking bullet, but I wouldn't call this a target bullet. So far, that's my initial impressions. I could be wrong. Either way, I do have to test some other powders with this. But there you go, retesting BLC-2 with some seating depths and a different upper. Same barrel though.